I'm going to show you around and show you how I decorate my apartment. I've been decorating my apartment this way for years, so it doesn't have a theme and there isn't an annual change up of my ornaments. So this is it every year. I live in Harlem, in East Harlem, in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I thought I'd give some inspiration if anyone is having trouble decorating in a minimal style, there's small space. Anyhow, let's get started with the kitchen. I have to give a quick heads up. My apartment is really dark, and so the lighting is going to be changing often from room to room because I live in the back of the building. And for example, right here in my little hallway and before my kitchen, it's a warm light. Everywhere else is natural daylight, so it's really like bright white. Anyhow, this is my apartment door. It's decorated all year round with my nieces, my little ones, artwork and poetry. And if you zoom in at the peephole, you will see 3 ornaments that are hanging off. The glittery peace ornament, the felt reindeer ornament, and the wooden tree ornament is actually a DIY ornament. All of my wooden ornaments were made by me. I'll discuss that a little bit more at the end of the video. I want to get to the point for the most part in the beginning of the video, which is just showing you around and quickly giving you an overview of everything. So we're going to go from my apartment door to my kitchen, which is right by my apartment door. You walk in, the first thing you see is my kitchen. Anyhow, what I've done to decorate my kitchen is... So what I've done is with felt tip reindeer, brown and red reindeer ornaments, I've attached them to my cabinets using just regular masking tape. These were just extra ornaments that I had laying around, and I always have masking tape, so this was very inexpensive to do. I love it. I think it gives a really pretty look to my kitchen, and it's not over the top or anything like that. Over my shoulder here, we have my kitchen window. The vines that you see hanging off my window are faux vines. They're there all year round. And right in the center, you have a snowman vase that's out just for the holidays. So a little bit over my shoulder here is my bulletin board, and it falls right here in this little passageway from the kitchen into the living room space. I have a bulletin board. What I've done to decorate it is just throw this faux snowy pine garland over it, and the garland actually has little pieces, little wooden ornaments on it. Again, these are DIY ornaments, and I'll show you how to do them later on in the video, or better yet, I'll talk about them more because I'm not going to show you an example of how to make them. Anyhow, this is just a bulletin board. It has a garland like I mentioned, and this little ornament here as well. And that is how we pass into the living room space, which is the most exciting part of this video. So now we have my living room. I'm going to walk over to the tree and we're starting there. The garland above my tree reads Merry Christmas. I was looking for, and I prefer Feliz Navidad, but I couldn't find it. So this works just fine because if you can take a closer look, it is beautifully made. It fits in with my decoration, and it's made for me. So I understand when something is made for me and I pick it up. So right here to the right of the tree, we have 2 stockings for myself and my husband, and closer on there is a Mr. and Mrs. 2015 ornament that was a gift from my sister. I wrote Feliz in red. And these 2 babies are my favorite teddy bears. They're my Christmas time teddy bears. So this one here is from my husband, John. This is actually a cute little headband of mine. It's a Christmas tree headband. Anyhow, this beauty, it's a Christmas tree, and it actually lights up and dances and sings. So check it out. It's so wonderful. I love it so much. So I'm going to move that aside. And this is actually a very interesting little Santa. He's a hunter. So he sings the 12 days of Christmas, and he does like a meat countdown. Anyhow, he looks drunk. I always thought he was a drunk Santa, but it turns out he's just a hunter. Check it out.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12, hound no sleeping. 11, Saxon pork run 10, banjos plucking 9, catfish jumping 8, chicken 5, 6, 7, corn cob 5, 6, roadkill 5.
That is enough for now. Anyhow, they decorate the bottom of my tree. So now we're going to go over my shoulder to the window. So walking towards the window, we see two ornaments on the window locks. This is a tiny little miniature wreath with a wooden star ornament hanging off of it. The same is applied to the lock on my other window. And the only difference is a snowman ornament instead of a star. A little further down on the windowsill, I have some plants that I've decorated. The one right here in the center in particular, my ZZ plant, has a foam snowman poking through it and fairy lights. These lights are colorful, non-blinking lights. I just want them to be colorful and luminescent without the motion of the blinking. They are really long lights, so they wrap around my window and over my clothing rack. By the way, a little sneak peek. These are 3 different silk blouses with a really beautiful, soft, shiny satin finish, and they will be in my next thrift haul. We're now walking towards my bathroom and my bedroom. More beautiful, colorful Christmas bodega lights wrapped around my window and going down and around my clothing rack that used to be a bookshelf. That is my bathroom, and that over there is my bedroom. I have a beautiful Christmas card on the door, taped up with some masking tape. I wrote in colorful Sharpie, Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año y Felicidad over masking tape. I did not write on my walls. Okay, so my bedroom over here. There is not much going on, no decorations at all, and so we don't have to go in there. My door, however, is decorated with another Christmas card and a fake chocolate rose that I purchased from Rite Aid. We never eat it, so I made a decoration for my bedroom door. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my minimal decorations, and I'm going to show you quickly one of my ornaments and how I made it. So here I've selected a wooden ornament. I am doing this on my phone, so I keep looking at myself to make sure that I'm not blurry, that I'm in focus. Anyway, I hope that doesn't annoy you too much. So this one is a snowflake. I have Santa, I have a sleigh, I have a moose, I have a deer, I have snowmen and Christmas tree, and of course snowflakes, wooden pieces that I purchased at Michael's. I actually made them on camera and I posted it to YouTube years ago, but I deleted it. Anyway, it's very simple. So I took the wooden piece, I glazed it with a bronze acrylic paint. I'm a painter, so I have a bunch of paints laying around. I glazed it with a really thin coat, and that's what made it really sparkly and shiny rather than dry and pale looking. Anyhow, so then I grabbed some twine that I also purchased at Michael's. I cut a piece of the twine, and with my hot glue gun, I glued the twine onto the wooden piece, and it has never come off. So it's been years and years, and it remains securely on the wooden piece. I then tied a little knot to the top of the wooden ornament, and I placed it on my tree. So I like wooden ornaments on my tree because it's a natural texture. So the wooden pieces stood out to me because they have a beautiful natural texture, and I love the way the wooden texture looks against the pine texture. Though my tree is fake, it still looks like pine. So the wooden pieces against the pine looks beautiful. I chose acorn ornaments as well because the pine cones, pine cone ornaments, because they are something that you expect to see on a tree. So it just works as really beautiful natural fillers with a beautiful texture. And apples also. So apples is something that you expect to see in a tree. Of course, not a pine tree, but still a tree. So these are glittery apples that I have here, glittery red ornament apples. I have gold gold and green as well. So these 3 ornaments, they work really nice as fillers because of their natural texture and because you kind of expect to find them on a tree. They work really nicely as fillers for those reasons. Moving on to more personal ornaments, I can pull out every single ornament and show you and tell you why I love them and why they're personal to me, but I've chosen just a few. So we have the most recent ornament on my tree, which is this beautiful Chevalier family van hauling off a pine tree to be the Christmas tree for the family. I purchased this one this year and I was very happy to do so. I didn't think I'll have a new ornament for the year, but this is my ornament for the year. This is my dream. My dream is to go with my family, cut my own pine tree, and just enjoy life. So before the family van, a few years back, I purchased the leg lamp ornament. So if you do not know where this is from, I will fill you in. It is from the movie A Christmas Story, which is a classic, and if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It just reminds me of my childhood. I saw that movie a million times growing up, especially, and of the dad and how obsessed he was with this little ornament. Anyway, so when I spotted it a few years ago, I had to have it. This is pretty heavy, and so a lot of my ornaments are heavy, and because they are heavy, I have to go really light, and that explains the felt ornaments. Next up, we have this piece of cake ornament. I have a really serious sweet tooth, and so that's what this represents. I love to have coffee with a pastry, a little piece of pastry. So because I love to have coffee with it, we have a coffee ornament. This is a Starbucks ornament, but I do not drink Starbucks coffee often. I probably have it twice a year, if anything. Anyhow, so these two go next to each other on the tree, and this one is really heavy. So like I said, when you have a lot of heavy ornaments on a cheap fake tree, you really have to have a lot of light ornaments to balance it out. Anyhow, my J. So my J ornament is because all of my loved ones, their name starts with a J. So that's why I got the J. I'm gonna stop there. You know what? I'm not. There's one that's not here that I have got to show you. So pause. Dun, 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 dun. This is my Christmas tree. Whoa, I did that wrong. This is my Christmas sweater ornament. It even has a hanger. That is a little hanger. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I saw this at Michael's a few years back, and this was my new ornament for that year. It's so beautiful. I'm so in love with it. I cannot help it. Yes, so that's the one I forgot to mention, and that had to get a special shout out. It's a reindeer sweater, and the reindeer has Christmas lights wrapped around his you know. Anyhow, so that's gonna be it for now. Okay, last but not least, the peppermint cane, the candy canes. Is it called candy canes or peppermint candy canes? I don't know. The peppermint canes that you put all over the tree, that's something that I grew up with. My trees always had real peppermint canes all over. So we ate it on Christmas Day. I don't have real ones. I have little fake ones that I purchased at Michael's. But yeah, so that's from my childhood. I can't imagine my tree without it. And that is really it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that you got some inspiration and that you realize that you can keep it very simple. There are people out there that love fancy Christmas, you know, fancy Christmas trees and change up the theme every year, and that's totally fine if that's you, but don't feel pressured to be that way. You don't have to be that way if you don't want to. For me, it's all personal all the time, and so this is a tree that my family will have forever. As it grows. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.